Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
So in the red figures at 1 under.
Now at the second and a medium-length par 4, Frank.
Yeah, a slight dogleg to the left, rather long, skinny green here, well bunkered all the way down the left side. Really anything down the right and the natural contours of the land should kick that ball a little to the left. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole.
Frank, what's the best way to access the hole location on this second shot here at the second hole at Chambers Bay?
Well, Rich, it's really set up with a drive. If you can drive it down the right side, you get a better view. Plus, you can avoid that ridge that's in the middle of the green on the left side. If you're coming in from the left side, that bunker on the right, now you realize why they put that there. Because when you've got a skirt to the right of that ridge, that second shot becomes a little more difficult.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
That's that sneaky distance.
Well, that's how you keep a round going, make putts just like that. Frank, here on the fourth tee, you get a good look, don't you, at what Chambers Bay really is all about.
It's framed beautifully, Rich, by the bunkers there, left, short, off the tee, plus the ones down the right side. You can see everything in front of you, but the hole does bend to the right. This is another one where you've got a generous fairway, but don't be fooled by that. It's fairway first.
Tough par 4 measuring 495 yards. And that's where you want to be at the fourth, in the fairway. The second shot now to the par 4.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. These putts keep the round together. Ooh, so close.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Frank, it's kind of fun to swing away on an elevated tee like this, the 5th here at Chambers Bay.
It looks straight away. It certainly does. And under 500 yards, so it gives you a chance, plus that elevation. You should be able to knock one down there. The hole pinches in, though, with those bunkers left and right, and there's just one bunker in the front of this green, and that, as you can guess, should be avoided.
Be careful. They call this hole free fall. Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Getting set now over the putt. And with that, he'll go to 3 under. Frank, now at the 6th, this appears to be a testing par 4 long one.
It is, but once again, a generous fairway. Just use those mounds down the left as an indicator on your line. Hole bends a little bit to the right. Good tee shot, though, and everything is in front of you.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Four under on the day. Frank, this is a daunting challenge. The 7th hole, long par 4. It's over 500 yards.
A huge bunker down the right side that probably runs for a good 200-300 yards. Obviously, that's to be avoided. And then, of course, there's the mounds and the hammocks and the dunes and that on the left side. That's the reason, really, why this hole's called Humpback. But then, a little bit like the golf course, there's only one greenside bunker to be worried about, but enough green left of that.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Now, the approach shot here at the 7th, Frank, and this one is up the hill.
It is, and the green is sort of split into thirds. There's a little piece back left, there's a piece back right, and that bigger portion in the front. So once again, you got to choose what shot am I trying to hit, and do I have the right club?
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That is classy.
Yeah, chance of going in.
Frank, this would be huge.
Oh, it's got that strut going, everything. This is when that hole starts to look a little bit bigger. You really feel like you can start to make everything.
Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realize that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. Shouldn't be a problem here. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Back-to-back birdies and 6 under par. Frank, the 9th hole is called Olympus. Feels as though Russell Crowe should be standing on the tee. starring in some sort of a movie about the Greek gods.
I knew you'd go like Titans and that down here. But this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich. This isn't for the Greek gods and the Titans of the world. They might think they are, but this is for you and me. This is for everybody. 36 handicappers. We can all play here.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Almost. Wow.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Getting ready now to begin the back nine here at Chambers Bay. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th.
Well, Rich, this hole looks like it's stolen straight out of the Highlands in Scotland. It's called High Dunes, and you can see why big dunes on the left and right frame this hole beautifully.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one.
All right, Frank, what's the best way to approach the 10th?
Well, this is probably the flattest green on the golf course, Rich, and really, if you miss this green, you've made a mistake. There's no two ways about it. It's probably the most predictable second shot you're going to have on the golf course. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today. This would be nice. A birdie on the card. See if he can make it. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive.
Well, here we are at the 11th. Frank, this is a brutally long par 4.
And a little bit blind, too. There's that big dune in the middle of the fairway, and it's sort of a bit daunting. You're not quite sure what's behind that. Well, what is behind that is actually fairway. And just carry it over there. That'll certainly shorten the hole up. And then from there, it's a little bit of a dogleg to the right.
Well, that's a good drive right there. Got all of it.
Did you hear the sound?
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Now 8 under on the day.
The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
2, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. On to the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay. It's a par 4, and they call this one Eagle Eye.
Yeah, dogleg to the right, beefy par 4. You hit it down to one of the widest fairways on the golf course. And then up in front, if you look at the middle of the green, you're going to see one bunker. Needless to say, that's got to be avoided.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Frank, a bunker in front of the green here. So how does that impact what the player's going to do?
Well, it's not just the bunker, too. It's the ridges left and right that are going to repel a shot. So if you go too far left to that bunker in front of the green or too far right, that ball's going to kick all the way off the green. So really, that bunker's a good line, but you've got to carry it. Should be safely on deck.
And that's how you play the game, right there. And getting ready for the putt. Now -10 for the round. Frank, now to the 14th hole, and this is the 5th consecutive par 4 here at Chambers Bay, and by this point the players will know whether they're on their game or off their game.
At 546 yards, this hole can be shortened considerably if you choose to take a brave line down the left side. You can chew off as much as 70 or 80 yards. But once again here, because the hole bends to the left, you've really got to know which direction that wind is coming from. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. In the hole, and a birdie. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15, it's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in the US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
No, it can't be. 6 in a row?
This would be 6 in a row. Wow, I thought he made that. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Par attempt here. 11 under on the day. Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Frank, you don't need just a caddy out here at Chambers Bay. Seems like you need a sports psychologist. You start thinking about the names of these holes. Beached at 16, and what's 17 called?
Derailed, and you can see why, too. That green's perched up there. If you've got the round going in the wrong direction, this is not a hole to start on. So if you've got a run going, it's just a good tee shot that lands around the front there, and you just take a 3 here. This is not a time to be a hero.
Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Love it. With a nice splash out of the bunker, it lands softly and just runs out right next to the hole. Beautiful shot. Has his par. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. So a longer putt coming up next, about 30 feet away. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. Oh, hello there. Really nice putt. Really good round out there today. What's the mindset, Frank, to keep it going?
The first thing, really, Rich, just try and keep the same composure for tomorrow's round. Get some rest. We know that. Shouldn't really have to hit the range. Swings in good position. Just keep it easy and visualize